Multiplication as scaling. So scaling is the process of resizing a number when you multiply by a fraction that is greater than or less than 1. So let's look at an example of each of these to compare the difference. Say I have a whole value of 2, but I multiply that whole value of 2 by a number that is greater than 1, like 1 1/5. Well, let's see what happens. Well, again, I need to make this an improper fraction. So 1 times 5 plus 1. And so now I'm going to rewrite this. This is going to be 2 times 5 plus 1 is 6, so 6 over 5. I'm going to go ahead and put a placeholder of 1 and then multiply across. So I get 12 over 5. Again, if you can't tell yourself, oh, 5 goes into 12 how many times, and visually see that in your mind, let's go ahead and use our old school division. 12 divided by 5. And 5 goes into 12 2 times. That leaves you with a remainder of 2. And so our answer is 2 with the remainder of 2 in the numerator, and then our denominator being 5. And notice that that is greater than 1. So let's look at what happens if I multiply by a fraction that is less than 1. I'm going to use the same one, 2. And let's see what happens if I multiply by 7/8. 7/8 is not quite 1. It's less than 1 this time. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply across. The nice thing about this one is I can just put a placeholder, and I can simplify this first. I can take a 2 out of the numerator by dividing by 2, and the denominator by taking 8 and dividing by 2. If I rewrite this, 2 divided by 2 is just 1 over 1 times 7 over 8 divided by 2 is 4. Multiply across and I get 7/4. Notice what happens here. If I do my old school math, division, 7 divided by 4 goes in there once. 1 times 4 is 4. And I get a remainder of 3, so that's my numerator. And so my answer is 1 3/4. So you might say, Mr. Lois, but that's not less than 1. But it's less than the whole number. So it's important to clarify this. If I multiply a whole number, 2, and a fraction that's less than 1, it's going to make the overall number less than the whole number. So 1 3/4 is less than 2.